Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another For Honor video, where today I thought, well, enough people asked me in my last video, so, I think it's time anyway, I should update my Conq guide, because my way of playing him, the way the game's changed, all that sort of stuff, I think it's time to update it a bit. So, first off, I'm just going to start with, why my way of playing Conq is particularly useful. I mean, I don't know whether it's good or anything like that. I wouldn't assume it would be the best way of playing him, but the reason why it works so well for me is because it's weird. And that both helps and hinders me in many ways, but basically it just means that whoever I'm playing, they'll usually have very little idea of how to deal with my way of playing, It just sort of works out that way. So when I'm against people that know how to play me, that have played me regularly, they can beat me, like you would any normal Conq. It's just a slightly different way of doing it. So, good, bad, I don't want to get into it. But anyway, so I'll get on to the actual way of playing that I use, which is pretty, I can break it down into like 3 steps, but I'll just go with how I usually work it out. So, my basic moveset is not that. Zone, forward shield bash into heavy, and if I'm honest, that's basically all you need. Zone, forward bash into heavy. Incredibly simple. It's just the way you get into your head by using that sort of stuff, that's the tricky part. That I can't really teach too well. It just sort of comes with experience and knowing how to size up your opponent and what they're going to do. But, when you got the basics down, it becomes a lot easier to work out the rest of it. So I'm going to start with the easy stuff, and, best way to do that is with the other bot, so back in a sec. So let's get into just his moveset and sort of break it down from there. So, basically, to start with, I'll just go down his hero-specific stuff and tell you more or less what that's all about. So his charge attack, that's when you charge up your heavy. So that's the holding the right trigger. Now that move is, I'll be honest, pretty useless. There are very few situations where you'd need to charge up a heavy, except in very specific instances where you're trying to get the most damage out of something. Charging a heavy is just too useless, if I'm honest. You can charge it up from a distance and swing, but chances are your opponent, they can pretty easily dodge it or parry it. It's not worth it. So, more or less, never really use the charged heavy attack, because you're not going to find many good uses for it. Now, so his superior block. Now, this is, what makes Conq, really. His main thing is that whenever he blocks an attack, even a heavy attack, it will stagger your opponent quite heavily. So, say against Raider here. So Raider would normally be able to bash you about with heavies, and it would completely screw up your game. Well, not screw it up, but it would allow the Raider to continue his pressure quite heavily. With this, they try and get you with a heavy. It hits your shield. They get knocked back a bit because, they're stunned slightly. And you can actually get a free guard break on Raider's heavy. So I'll just show that, because, this is the use of the level 1 bot, so blocked it, that's guaranteed. It doesn't matter where he does it from, that's always guaranteed. Now, most players aren't going to throw heavies out against Conq, because they know it's suicide, basically, but, it's there, so it's handy. Now, of course, he's got the full block stance, which I never really use, if I'm honest. I don't quite see the use in that, especially because, I'll get into the zone attack later, but the zone attack is sort of like the better full block stance, the much better full block stance. It says he can't feint, and then it says you can cancel attacks into full block stance, so sort of contradicting itself there. He can feint, it just takes a bit more stamina than other classes, so, his feints are... Let me just get this guy out of stamina. Good. So his feints are like this. So this is a light. He's one of the few characters that can cancel his lights. which is very handy. So look, I can throw out a heavy, or I can just throw it out, cancel it. It's cancelling lights. You can't go wrong with it, really. But a lot of people say in a lot of my videos, you should feint more. But my way of playing is I don't really use feints unless it's a last resort. Unless it's someone who I really need to use it against, I won't use it. It's like, you know, feinting is a very handy tool. It's incredibly useful. But why start off using your best tool when you can surprise your opponent and use it when you really need it? So, for instance, if I was against this raider and he was used to me doing nothing but zone attack, right? He'd try and parry my zone attack. All I'd need to do is block that, obviously, but I failed. Hang on. So all I'd need to do, he'd assume I'd attack from this side with the zone. I just light, cancel. There you go. See? And it's simple as that. Save it for when you really need it, when it's the end of the round or something important. That's when you should use the feinting. Because otherwise, all you're going to get is feint, maybe a light, feint, do this, which is incredibly risky because if they dodge it, you know, you're getting punished quite heavily, you know, with a free guard break. So it's just best to save it as a last resort sort of thing, in my mind anyway. I'd only ever use it to screw with someone at the end of a round type of deal. Now, to get into his basic moves, I'll just go with the stuff you should use. Don't use that. Don't use that. Don't use that. Don't use that. Only use that occasionally. I don't really use that because I'll show you what I mean. Hang on, I'll just... Okay, right, so the reason why you don't want to use this is he'll probably dodge it. Sure, you get a guaranteed heavy, but when that heavy connects, your opponent can actually get a free guard break on you. So it's kind of, you're going to get a heavy, but they're also going to get a heavy on you if they have stamina when you do it. So the only time you want to do it is when they're roughly half, you know, they're out of stamina, but they're half back on their stamina, so that if you do knock them down and get a heavy, they can't get a guaranteed heavy on you. Or it's they're on their last bar of health and they're only one heavy away from death. That's the only time you should use that move. So in reality, quite useless. You're only going to have a couple of situations when you're going to need to use that move, or want to, anyway. Now, Shield Bash. This is Conq's bread and butter. This is the thing you're going to use more than any other move, I'm pretty sure, in his entire move list. You're going to use this, and maybe a couple lights and a zone attack. More or less. Now, the reason why it's so good is because it doesn't say anywhere in his hero-specific stuff, but he actually has a deflect. Now, Conq is quite weird in the fact that wherever he dodges, he blocks in that direction. So that, you know, opens up a lot of opportunities. I'll show you what I mean. So, you know, I'll wait for him to attack when he decides to attack. And that was me dashing into the attack. So I'm going to hold the attack to the left, right? Now if you can see, right, if you look at my guard stance, so I'll dash, and look, wherever I dash, the guard goes in that direction. Now this opens up a lot of options, because if you block you know, deflect an overhead, you get a guaranteed heavy, which I'll get into later, because that's more advanced stuff, but yeah, so whatever side you deflect from, if it's forward, you're going to get a guaranteed heavy. If it's from the sides, however, you're going to get a guaranteed light. Now, while obviously not a lot of damage, it's damage, so it's good, but it's just going to make your opponent think twice and attack a lot less. Is this guy ever going to stop? Oh, there we go. See, you just do it from the dash into the attack, every time. Because a lot of people, it's a weird kind of deflect. I mean, sure, they can cancel an attack and then bait it out, but then that's the whole game assassins have to play anyway. So he's like a heavy with some assassin traits, more or less. Now we get into the Shield Bash mix-up stuff, which is, if I'm honest, also pretty useless. Another one of his useless moves, because this is what it is. It's heavy into heavy Shield Bash into heavy. Now, the heavy after the heavy Shield Bash is guaranteed, but the problem is, this move here, it's incredibly slow, it's very easy to punish, and it's very easy to see coming. So, you know, it's just not all that good. But of course, it does have its uses. Like, in some situations, you can... So, I'll get into my zone attack use. So, say you've been using the zone the entire match, which you should be doing, really. This and his light shield bash are his best moves, by far. Like, you don't need to use any other moves apart from them, really. So, you've been hitting them from with the zone attack the entire match. Now, they've started to get savvy to that, and they've started to parry any attack from this side. They'll assume it will be the zone, and they'll parry it. So then what you start doing is you can also do the heavy shield bash from all blocks. So, like this, shield bash, there you go. Now, that is very rarely going to connect unless you've conditioned them to sort of expect a certain thing. So, they've seen this, right? Then what you do is you light, cancel. There you go. Now, I could probably do it a lot quicker. I'm just sort of screwing it up, but there. That's the basics of it. Now, that will screw with most players, and at that point in the match where you should use that sort of move, they'll be on the last bar anyway, so it will kill them. So, you know, you save the best stuff for last. The fainting, the all-block stuff. Well, I mean, okay, you save the random stuff for last, because it's definitely not his best. Now, his zone attack has very weird properties. It's the only attack in the game that attacks and blocks at the exact same time. So, when you use it, you're completely safe. Like, from everything. And, usually... Okay, so I just press the zone attack, and this is what it usually comes out as. It's 2 swings. Now, you can hold it down, you can hold it for as long as you want until you run out of stamina. That's the point of it. It makes it great for clearing zone, that sort of thing. But when it comes to using this attack, all you really want to do is once cancel. Now, you cancel this not by going into all block or anything like that. You just press the regular cancel button after the first swing comes out. That's how you do it. It's super easy. It's his only move where you feint it like any other regular character. So, on that note, so this attack can be parried. So the first swing of the zone attack, it can be parried, it can be deflected. It's just treated like a regular light, more or less, except you're blocking at the same time as it's coming out, and if they block it, it'll act like a heavy hitting their block, so they'll get knocked back a bit. Now that's good because it puts them at the sort of range where you can shield bash safely, you can do what you want, and you can, you know, if they get hit by it and they're at the perfect range. So when you zone attack, if they're right in your face like this, and you zone attack and they parry it, any character will be able to get a guaranteed guard break on you. However, if they're at the max range, I'm showing off poorly here, if they're at the max range of it, like that, most characters in the game, if they parry it, they won't get any punish. They'll guard break, it will miss, it'll go into thin air, like, you know, it'll just, that's what they'll do, and you can get a guaranteed guard break heavy on them. So, you know, it's pretty handy for that sort of situation. The only cases where it wouldn't work are cases where, say, you're against a Warden, because Warden has great guard break range, so you have to be at the perfect max distance to stop him from being able to punish you. Lawbringer, same, you have to be at the exact max distance for him not to punish you. Gladiator, I think can get you from any distance with a guard break and heavy punish. And the only other characters you have to worry about are ones like Centurion and Warlord, where if they hit you if they parry you, they can get you with the guaranteed, like in the case of Centurion, it'll be the guaranteed knee to the face heavy. That's guaranteed. Same with Warlord, shield bash to the face heavy. You know, you can't really do much against that apart from, you know, just play it safe. That's the sort of way you do it. So that's all I can really say about his zone attack. It's much easier just to show it off in an actual fight, which I'll get into at some point. But so now we're on to his other amazing move, which is his shield bash, either heavy or light. So his light shield bash is done by dashing any direction and pressing guard break afterwards. And now it takes out quite a chunk of stamina, which is very handy. And also you can get, so from the sides, guaranteed light. Other side, guaranteed light. However, if you hit him from the front, you can get a guaranteed side heavy. Now, a lot of people were asking about the timing and all that. I see a lot of you had trouble with it. So what you do, forward dash, side heavy. So I'll go the timing. So as soon as the shield bash connects, now I press heavy. I'd say it's just before the shield bash connects, then I press heavy. So now I press heavy. Or I'd say the exact same time, more or less. I never really explain my exact move and mindset when I'm doing something, but I'll just give it a go. So Dash, guard break, heavy. Just like that. And that's guaranteed. Dash, guard break, heavy. You can do it just before or just as, and it will still come out. But it only works from the side. So I switch side, do it, it works fine. The only one where it won't work is overhead. They can block that, they can dodge out of that. So best bet, hit them from the sides. Now that means that no character in their right mind should ever use a overhead light on you, because otherwise you'll just deflect it, hit them with a heavy. Definitely not worth it for them. Now, when it comes to using his charge attack, there are only some very specific situations you'll be able to use it. So, controller keeps bloody disconnecting. So, one instance is where they're quite a distance from a wall, but you know you can still throw them into it. So, that sort of range, more or less. Now, that means what I can do is throw them into the wall, get a mini charge, let go. Now, that's guaranteed, and that does just that's the level 1 charge of the heavy. So, it's just a little bit extra damage. See, little charge, done. That's guaranteed. So, you know, every little helps, really. So, you know, when it gets to that sort of point where they're near a wall, always use it. Now, whenever I'm near a wall and I've just guard broken someone, I'll always throw them into it to do a heavy, even if I don't get the guaranteed charge, because that little bit of stamina damage can be so helpful. Like, my rule of thumb is if you get out of stamina against Conqueror, you're going to lose at least half your life. That's the general rule of thumb to go by. If you run out of stamina against the Conqueror, you should lose half your life. So it's very good incentive to stay full stamina against him, because as soon as that's run out, you're taking a lot of damage. So if I just get her out of stamina here, I'll show you what I mean. Why Conqueror is so difficult to deal with when they're out of stamina, because this is the only time Conqueror can go full offensive mode, is when they're out of stamina. And what you can do from that is you can shield bash mix up, where you shield bash, you can delay it. So I'll do the normal shield bash. That's what you'd normally do, but you can also delay it to mix them up. So see how much I did that it's not by much, but that amount is enough to screw up with people's timings and allow you to get the punish. Now, you can also do the thing where you dash, guard break, throw them. Another thing is when you throw them while they're out of stamina, you can also get a level 1 charge. That's what most people do anyway. However, I can actually show you 2 ways where you can get 2 heavies while they're out of stamina. So one is when they're by the wall. So, okay, so I throw this person while they're out of stamina and I'm near a wall. I can get 2 side heavies guaranteed. The shield bash isn't guaranteed afterwards, but, you know, you can throw it out sometimes. Now, the other thing you can do is you can actually get 2 heavies anywhere in the map. Like, literally anywhere you can get 2 heavies while they're out of stamina. It just takes a lot of weird timing. Now, I didn't find this. I'll link the channel of the guy who pointed this out to me in the description. But what you do is you have to be blocking upwards. So you block up, change guard to the side, hit to the side, move to the side, swing to the side. It's a lot to take in, but basically what I do, see, I didn't manage to get the timing there. So what you do is you guard break, and immediately after you've guard break, press the guard break button, switch to the side. Well, like whatever side you want to throw them. So I want to throw on that side, I'll switch. Now you can see it changes while I'm in guard break. So if I guard break them and then try, I can't change until afterwards, so, you know, that won't work. Then what you do is when you throw them in that direction, you move in that direction. So you see, I threw them to the left, so I want to be walking to the left. And what that means is, when I'm walking to the left, I will throw my heavy to the left and walk to the left at the same time. So I'm walking to the left, throw my heavy to the left. Easy, right? Okay, so then what you do is, when they're out of stamina, bear with me. Also, that means whenever someone's out of stamina, you should always be chasing them down with your guard break up. That's the best way to do it. Okay, so I up, grab, throw, move to the side, heavy to the side. 2 guaranteed heavies. They can't punish you, they can't do anything to you. That's how it's done. Easy. It just takes a little bit of practice. It took me a little bit of practice, but it can be done really straightforward. And that's basically, I think that's all I can say for Conqueror. I mean, apart from, there's one other thing you can do, which is very handy for me, which is you parry with the zone attack. So usually to parry an attack, you press the heavy attack, right? That's the way of parrying, okay? With Conqueror, I mean, with every character you can parry with the zone attack, but with Conqueror, it's a lot better because you're attacking and defending at the same time. It means that if you go for a parry attack, so say say this Peacekeeper is going to throw an attack from my left, right? I'll go for parrying that attack, right? Now that will parry, of course, if I get the timing right. If I don't, however, or the Peacekeeper cancels it and goes for a zone, say, what would happen is she would either get hit by my zone attack, or the zone that she would throw out would hit my block. So, you know, it's basically a free parry, more or less. It's very difficult to cancel an attack and then parry the zone unless you're already on that side. So if they're attacking from the side the zone comes out, then they have a possibility of parrying it. But other than that, it's very, very difficult. So apart from that, that's basically my the basic like move set I use as Conqueror. It's quite weird. It's definitely weird for your opponent to comprehend. A lot of them ask me questions on how I do half the stuff I do, but it's just weird. It's very effective, and I think more people should play like it. It seriously changes up the Conq game. The Conq meta is good, I'll be honest. Now you can play Conq very effectively. So I think all that's left to do is just to get into a couple matches to show off what I've learned. I'll try and show off as much as I can. Like, if I get the opportunity, I'll try and show the out-of-stamina stuff. I'll obviously be using the forward bash into heavy and all that sort of good stuff. But, yeah, so I've said all I can about how to play him. If you've got any questions, ask in the description. I will make sure to answer any. And, yeah, so, into some matches. First match of the day, always the nerve-wracking part, seeing who they go for. Come on, come on. Anything but Gladiator. Yep, I'll take that. Even though Warden is technically Conq's counter, I mean, it makes sense. Warden, it's in the name. I've sort of gotten really used to Wardens now. Like, they don't faze me nearly as much. Gladiator, however, that still screws with me. You don't have a Ra, you can't beat me. Alright. Now it's very good because all I want to do is dash into one of those top lights. I thought that was a top light, I'm just retarded. There we go. See, whenever he dashes forward... There we go. See, I just dodge into the attack. Now, that's what you do against all Wardens. The best thing you can possibly do is dodge back. Now, you see, he can't use any lights, well, overhead lights on me, which is his fastest attack, because if he does, he's going to get a heavy to the face. And then he's going to get his balls crushed by the flow of truth. Come on. You can't really beat it. Just look at them mangled. You know what? I'm not even going to go into it. No, it's becoming a thing. I don't want it to become a thing.
Round 2.
Right, how is he going to change up his game? 'Cause he's going to have to, otherwise he's definitely going to lose this. Alright, still not sprinting at me. Just trying to dash in to get him to go and do something. Now that, he should have dodged that. I don't know why that didn't work. Ooh, okay. He's not going into the vortex, which is good for me. And now he's trying to bait it out. Okay. Now see, all you do, dodge back, and screw. And there we go. Always throw him into a wall if you can. Nope. Just got the timing there. See, even though I zone attack... So, I zoned attack because I just thought it would hit him, that sort of thing. But because I zoned attack and he zoned at the same time, he hit my block and I got a free punish. Which is great. Oh, I keep hitting the side he's blocking, that's so annoying. And now death. Yep. Can't do shit against that. Whoa. That does look like it hurts. Beautiful. I thought about sending him good fight, but he's not gonna do it to me until the end at least, so leave it.
Round 3.
I'm pretty confident I've got this in the bag. I mean, I'm not really showing off any of the advanced stuff too well, like the throw them while they're out of stamina and get the 2 heavies or anything like that, but this is the basics of how my tutorial... If you've watched the tutorial, you try out some of it yourself. This is how you should be able to play afterwards, more or less. Now look for it. See? That was at the perfect max range, and... oh, shit. I screwed up my punish there. I wanted him to get into the wall. But yeah, see, that's the perfect example. I zone attack, and he parries me. Still not close enough to get a guard break. It's like, you know, Shinobi's zone attack? They'll always throw it out... I hate it when that happens. When Shinobi throws out their zone attack, it's always when you're on the last bar of health, because they know you're going to parry the last hit of the zone attack and then go for a guard break, and that guard break will whiff. And that's, you know, a good tactic. It works the same for Conq, except you can use it a lot more. Oof. Now I get the mini charge. Oh, for God's sake. Nope. Okay, so now he's going to dodge every time. Well, thank God he's not going into the vortex, otherwise he would have killed me this round. But, yeah, so now I'm just going to dodge forward and zone attack. That's good to mess with people. Just dodge. Ah, shit. See? Just get a bit of extra stamina damage. Oh, damn it, I was zone attacking at the exact same time. It got me. Well, I think the only major adaptation was dodging to the side and shoulder bashing, but there is a very easy way to deal with that, and that's just dodge forward, they'll dodge to the side, zone attack. Hits them every time. Can't even parry it. Ooh. You're going for the risky stuff. Oh. That, he should have, well, I mean, that wasn't guaranteed, but I'll take it. That's the other part of the mix-up. You can dash forward and then go for guard break, because a lot of the time your opponent will dodge expecting to get hit. See, that's just him getting mixed up at that point. Ooh. Dodge backwards. Damn. Just not quick enough. Ooh, he could have got more. That's death. If you use an overhead, that's just an instant death sentence. Never use overheads against this Conq.
Victory.
Good fight. Right, well, that worked out pretty well. I think I'm going to go to the next one now. I mean, I'm only going to do a couple of these matches, just to reinforce what I've been talking about, but yeah, anyway, on to the next one. And the nerve-wracking part again. Come on. Oh, come on. Not Gladiator, not Gladiator, not Gladiator. Oh, another Warden. Okay, I'm happy with this now. I like the Warden matchup. I used to hate this more than anything, but now I've gotten used to it. I like it. I think the ones I hate now most are Shinobi and Gladiator. Yeah, those are the ones I hate the most. It's a cool looking sword. Ooh, just feeling each other out, that's what you do. Oh, got me just as I was dodging. Good timing. Now he's out of stamina. Well, look, he was out of stamina, so now... Ah, damn it, I tried for the thing, but it didn't work out. Now he's out of stamina. He lost basically all his health. I mean, it goes true for both Warden and Conqueror. If you get out of stamina, you should lose half your health. But, you know, it just worked out better for me in this case. Broken. Lying on the ground. Poor guy. It's just very difficult to deal with.
Round 2.
Right, now let's get away from the death trap. I don't know why they didn't just leave the doors up. I mean, the fact that the doors come down at all is just stupid. Oh, damn. If I zoned attack, I would have got a free punish. That's what happens when you throw out any attack. Ah, okay. I can't get a And he's out of stamina. So he's going to lose some health. Half, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, well, yeah, actually he did lose half, so I'm happy with that. Ooh, good on him. See, I don't want to be near walls. Walls are bad for me. Oh, just caught the backdash. Come on. Yeah, he just wants to stay... Oh, for God's... That guard break range. Come on. He just, like, magnetized towards me. Ugh. God damn it. I hate characters that have super long guard break range. It's so annoying.
Round 3.
Give me a Highlander any day. T-Rex arms? Cool. Love them. So easy to deal with. Let's not go near the environmental thing. Ooh, just came out a bit quicker. Ah! Gotta stop trying to guard break afterwards. See, that doesn't work on me because I can just zone attack and that will counter all his options. But now he's out of stamina, so this is going to be too heavy. You see? Not guaranteed. Don't know why I even tried it, but eh. Against players like this, that won't work. See? It counters all options. Like, Warden can't sprint mix you up. He can't guard break, can't attack, can't zone. It's great. You're basically immune from all, like, sprint mix-ups, more or less. I mean, I think... Actually, no, if you do start doing the zone attack and Raider runs towards you, it'll still either hit him or you'll block the attack he throws out. So, you know, it does sort of stop that as well. I think... Yeah, it does... I can safely say it does stop all sprinting attacks. Which is good. Now you see, that's the mix-up. I dash forward, so that was 2 heavies worth of damage. Ah, goddamn. Now he's out of stamina. Now I'm out of stamina, so I'm gonna run away. He's doing risky shit that he really shouldn't be. See? Now he's completely fucked up. He doesn't know if he can Oh, next one gonna be guard break? Yeah. He doesn't know if he can Oh, didn't expect that to neither have expected that to hit. Ah shit. Well now he's guard breaking a lot, so I'm just gonna let a charge go. And that's death. Right, well, this basically this basically shows off everything I was trying to put out. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next video. And, yeah, well, please let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I will try to answer as many as possible. Thanks guys for watching. Bye.